Well, build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance to spit in his eye. Well, they gave me ball, but I can see between to a dusty yard and long gone green. They call that freedom, if you know what I mean. And I dry my sorrows, but the whiskey's gone. I'm sober.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Quick Bang. I'm Father Ted, and tonight we're talking about Hibs exiting the UEFA Conference League after a 4-1 defeat to Rijeka. Quite a bit to talk about, I would think. So, Dave, you're first up tonight. What were your thoughts on the game?
I'll just start there. I mean, obviously disappointing, especially because even after the poor start and the silly goal we gave away, again, we get back into it, and I'm left after that game feeling a bit sorry for a couple of the players, especially like McGuinness and Barrels. Again, they were quality again tonight, and they were just let down by the so-called senior statesmen of the team. That people on the forums, all the rest of it, cry out for him playing and all the rest of it. Oh, he's what we need. A little bit of commanding presence, all this kind of stuff. Saying that Porteous plays better next to him. Just utter nonsense built on sentimentality. Like, it has to go. Like, we desperately need other centre halves in our team. Right? And I know I'm a big Hanlon fan and I go on about him all the time, but there was nobody in that back four that looked to play football tonight.
No.
They're all right. If balls are coming in high, they can head it 50 yards forward and all the rest of it. There's nobody that can take the ball down and control it. The defenders look like Bambi on ice. And I've been sticking up for McGinn the last few weeks, but there's something not right with him. He looks like he's getting done for every single ball in one-on-ones. He looks like he's lost a yard of pace. You just basically take the ball to McGinn, push it past him, and you've got a yard, and he'll no catch it. And you get an easy ball in. So that's why we're losing simple games like that. Right? They weren't any great shakes again. Again, at 1-1, with 11 men on the park, we've got a chance. And then we basically just chuck it. Absolutely chuck it through silliness for a guy that's played football all his life and knows you can't do that. So just, disappointing, but, you reap what you sow. We'll have to go out tomorrow, take whatever it takes to get McCartan for St Johnstone and get another striker. Again, I'm lost as to why we never brought in more subs when we were down to 10 men. When we were absolutely dead in the legs up top. And you're thinking that your only chance 10 minutes to go is some long balls, and you've still got Boyle and Nisbet blowing out their arse, and you've got young laddies sitting on the bench doing nothing. Made no sense to me. At least give it a go the last 10 minutes.
Aye.
There you go. Back to Saturday football.
Aye, back to Saturday football. Here we go. Ewan, what about you, mate? What did you think it?
Aye, sort of just what Dave said. I'm sick. Felt like all summer defending Paul Hanlon. You've just seen what happens when Paul Hanlon leaves the team. Like, he's not a leader, he's not this, he's not that, but he very clearly is. Like, even if you ignore the goals, we were all over the place at the back tonight. Like, it was really bad. Porteous was poor. McGregor, like, I'm not going to be reactionary and say he's done, but he was just shite tonight. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not judging him being shite on the fact he's 35, 36. I'm judging on the fact he was fucking pissed. Like, and like, I don't even think it's anything to do with age. It's positioning for the first goal, and then the sending off is just so bad. He's got a chance to play it to Messi first time. I think he's got a pass inside. He can launch it, and he just dillies, and gets caught. And you could almost see it coming when he took the couple of touches, and it's just disappointing. And McGinn's struggling at the start of this season again. I've tried to cut him some slack, but he could probably have done better on the first goal. Definitely could have done better on the third goal. Struggled. Probably wasn't great for the goal last week either. But you can look back at last week and say the missed chances and stuff, but we were in control. I think in the second half we were in control of the game after the equaliser, and it felt like there was only going to be one winner. It was still, get me wrong, like, it was still going to be a difficult game, but I felt like we were definitely going to go on and see it through, and McGregor absolutely chucked it, which it's not nice to say. He's done a lot for the club. He's probably hurting just as much as he is right now, but it's he'll still have a role to play, but we missed Paul Hanlon massively tonight, and he's a country mile our best centre half, and the bench did look weak, but I don't think there's a team in the country that will miss a starting striker, a starting centre half, your most creative player, probably your starting right back in Chris Cadden as well. Like, there's 4 players that are definite first team players missing. I don't think the squad's that far off, but everyone knows we probably need a centre half and a striker.
I would say that's about bang on. Jimmy, what about you? What did you think it?
I mean, just talking there about McGregor and a striker and the backies, and I spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. 3 or 4 players we need, and it was right down the spine of the team, and it showed it tonight that was where we failed. Nisbet couldn't do much himself up the top, Boyle and Murphy they done as much as they could do, but one in the middle. McGuinness got forward, but McGinn at the back, I'm sorry, they had acres of space for the laddie to run every time. I mean, the first goal, if you look at the first goal, the space he had there, it was just, I didn't get it. And that's playing for the back. I mean, when you've got a player who's 36 years of age, he's not getting any pace, and tries and beats a man, I'm sorry, that's not good enough. This tippy-tappy for the back. We're not playing the Champions League, we're playing the Conference League, I thought we were on the ascendant. There's
somebody disagreeing with you, Jimmy.
Aye. We played. I thought we were going to score. I thought we were the team to get that break and to go 2-1 up. And then the mistake, and we were up against it for the. But I'll tell you one thing: the laddie Doyle Hayes, what a player! He was fantastic tonight. Absolutely fantastic. Listen, it's not to be. We know where our failings are. We know that we need 2 or 3 players to become a very good team. As Ewan says, break the bank, or was it Dave that says we need to get the laddie McCartan in. They're at the cup as well. And I could see Porteous and McCart, if he's not sold, making a good partnership with Hanlon. But listen, we move on, eh?
Aye, we
do. See this boy McCart? Is this boy McCart that good? I can't even think of him. Like, it's always Kerr they spoke about, but
he's a good player. Good player call.
So I suddenly we're wanting that. Because we can't afford Kerr, we'll take the other one. That's what it looks like.
He's left-sided, so if we bring him in, we'll have to play a 3. That's the only thing,
Unless you drop Hanlon, obviously.
I was going to say, change the whole formation. Can't see them changing the whole formation just to fit a left-footed player in.
I know, it's tricky.
Well, maybe the change of formation would help us with our defending crosses, eh? Like, that seems to be our Achilles heel at the moment. It's just anything gets crossed into the box and we lose a goal to it. Kaiser, what about you? What did you think about it?
I think obviously we've touched on it a few times, right? Even over the summer and stuff, about players that we need to sign, squad depth, and I think at that moment in time we were talking about the league. We weren't even talking about the Europa Conference League. So I think you throw in some injuries, you chuck in 2 games a week. We're wide open. We've not got the depth there. I thought Riker were good. I know more people are saying that we're not rating them and that, but we're going away to Croatia to play them, and I did expect them to kind of be the better team tonight. We never put them to the sword in the first leg, and we could have been 4-1 up going into that leg. We never took our chances, and it's definitely the club that's got a part in this. I mean, you can see individuals and stuff like that and shout them out, but this is a club responsibility, and I think Jack Ross has got to take something away from it for no changing it, no putting subs on, no doing anything to try and kind of alter the game. And I know it wouldn't have been easy for him, but I just thought with McGregor going off, who we had on the bench, the fact that we had a bit of pace here, and that seems to be what we were getting done with all over the park, was the pace. As the guys are saying, Doyle Hayes thought was brilliant. McGuinness was quality in that as well, but I think this is just kind of exposed. I mean, we go now, everyone's got to shout about getting players, but then you go, well, what we got to spend fucking millions for, because we've got a squad there that rested week to week. We'll do a good turn in the league. We didn't need to bring in more players now, because we're not in the Europa Conference League. We're not playing 2 games a week, but I obviously gutted, devastated, because I thought we'd go a wee bit further. But as it says, we go on to the league, and hopefully we do well there.
If anybody's wanting cheered up, it looks like Dave's got the Rangers game for the other night on behind him there as well. So we'll only be miserable for a wee bit. Leon, what about you? What was your take on the game?
Aye, just for what Kaiser said, I think we caught them cold last week, and I think they're a good side. Obviously, we could have done a lot better. Should have been ahead a lot for me for the first tie. McGregor's obviously the sentiment towards him's obviously massive, but even last season when he came in, folk were raving about him with the came in, helped us out in that midway through the season, but I still didn't think he'd done that well. And somebody put a thing on Twitter earlier on. It was Jack Ross talking about wanting a striker and a centre half, and that was in an interview, and it was a month ago.
Yeah.
Now the fact that nothing's still been done, I get they're going after players. They've got targets in that, and they've got to work towards the targets they want. It's no point. I don't want to go back to the days you're just signing anybody on the last day of the window just for the sake of getting numbers in. But you can see we're light. You can see we're light in the areas. And what Kaiser said today, we're now no light in the league because we're not playing twice a week. But we're light in the areas. So other areas we'd have to worry about. But the striker centre half situation has been going on for a while. And I don't know if it's because we're needing to move folk on. I think we're maybe still set in this mindset of having a set 24, 25, whatever it is, or in the squad. Mm-hmm. And then when one goes out, one comes in. But they definitely need to add to the squad. I felt at 1-1 tonight, although they were a good side, and I always had in the back of my mind they could break on us. I was like, when we came back at 1-1, I felt like we were coming into the game, and I was thinking we were the next team to score. Or I was in my mind, I was like, this is going to penalties. I was like, this is going to go back and forward, and it's probably going to go to penalties. And obviously McGregor done that, and after that was it. And again, McGinn, he's gone forward. He's been great the last couple of weeks, couple of assists in that, but back defensively, essentially that's his number one job. He's been pretty poor. But I didn't want to pile on him because I feel like we're starting to get dragged into pile-ons where if a player's not doing so well, people automatically just think he's not done well. So I even felt for the first goal, the crossfield ball was fantastic. The boy's first touch was absolutely fantastic, and he hit it without saying he's fit directly after the touch. They'd done it at that such speed. Folk were saying, why is McGinn not tighter on the guy? You can't get tight on that. If you're that spread apart, try to get tight to somebody, you've got space everywhere in the middle of the park. You've got to be compact when they're defending. So it was just moments like that, like you're going to lose goals. And no team goes for a season without losing goals.
Yeah.
You can't just pick out individuals every time you lose a goal. So that first goal never bothered me too much, but it bothered me obviously. But there was no even picking at it. I was like, where could you have done better there? But then for me, the second, obviously after McGregor went off, the Hibs went 100%. It was like watching, I don't know what to say amateur players because they won the amateur, but it was like watching an amateur game and go down a man, lose a goal, and it was just everybody's Hibs just totally went. So pretty poor, but end of the day, as well as we have to move on.
Aye, that's it. John, I know you for the group chat, you were kind of getting annoyed at how it was going. What was your take on it all?
Again, the defence, we've all talked about it. It has been a bit poor. We do need a bit more strengthening in defence. But one question I like to ask Jack Ross is, what the hell has Jamie Gillan got to do to get a chance to get a run in the team? Nisbet had a good shot tonight, but to me, he can be a bit of a lazy bastard at times. If we ask him to run for something, run about, I don't think he's that good. He's a box striker. The midfield this year looks really good. Doyle Hayes, McGuinness, and that. I think someone like Jamie Gillan could thrive on that, the way they play. I think he could be an answer. Instead of going out and spending a lot of money on a striker, why not give him an opportunity with this new midfield we've got?
Do you think with that though, John? Like, is it always like with these things, right? This is just like a wee bit of devil's advocate, but if you're a manager and your whole job is reliant on results, if you had a player there that was going to go and do a job like that, you would play them. Like, I just think if Jamie Gillan was ripping up cheese and training and that, he would have got chucked in.
I think if you put him on with Nisbet, I think we all know Nisbet as a two can play really well.
Yeah.
They brought on Gogic. To be honest, I'd probably put on another striker. Maybe give Gillan that opportunity. You're 3-1 down, 2-1 down, you say to yourself, you've still got a chance here. So bring on a younger boy to play with Nisbet and let Nisbet move into the box and have Jamie Gillan doing the running for him. I don't know if that would work or not, but I think with the ammunition we've got in the midfield that can supply them, I think the boy could thrive, but he could end up being another Ollie Shaw where he just gets punted out to another club. It's one of the things to flip a coin.
Yeah, I think you're quite spot on, John, because for me, they've got the young laddies on the bench. We've had to have them on the bench. There are 2 subs on the bench, and if they can, I don't know if Jack Ross is maybe saying, look what we've got to the board. They're playing a couple of young laddies on there, but you've got to show that you want to play youth as well and integrate them into the side, or you're not going to attract young players. And I kind of like what you're saying, Matty. We've got to be seeing as well that we've got to bring in quality, because we're at that stage now. We're not a team we're going to be taking steps forward every time we bring players in. But these laddies either need to be going to be part of it or no, for me.
I think that Bradley, the games that I've seen in the pre-season and the games that's came on, I think that Bradley's got potential to be a really good player as well. You've got Josh Doigett's came in, done outstanding for the team. I think Bradley could be the next person that comes in behind him. And
he was even in the squad,
I think he could come in and do really well.
I think Josh Doig was just that cut above, though, that you just couldn't play him. Do you get what I mean? Like, it was just a different, massive level above. And obviously, because you were, like you say, it is a results business, and so good integrating players, and again, Bobby Williamson trying to take claim to some of the best players that Hibs have produced in years, but the results never showed it. Get what I mean? And I'm not saying he would have kept Selma Joe, but he integrated them in. We played some terrible stuff under him. Tony Mowbray came in and done the rest after that, but it's like you say, it's a results business, so it's such a fine balance you've got to get with him.
Aye, definitely. Colin, what about you?
We blew it in the first leg, didn't we? Really, never took a lead over there, and then even although having said that, at 1-1, I thought we were the better team, and then he got sent off, and then that's what we felt a bit. Fuck knows how that goal went in. That one at the near post. There was must have went through about 4 of them. I've no idea how no one of them got a leg or a hand or anything in the way. I thought McGuinness was good tonight, and Jake Doyle-Hayes. I thought they were probably our best 2. Boyle was quiet for the main, but I think we said it before the game, didn't we? That we'd definitely shot a centre half or 2 maybe now, if we're saying McGregor's done. But can we say that based on one game? You know what I mean? Last year everybody was clamoring for it to be in the cup final.
It was
only 5 games ago in reality. But we definitely needed one, and we definitely needed a striker. But then we've not got Europe anymore. But we still definitely need those positions, I think. But it could be like, I can't remember who it was that said it. Might have to sell somebody to bring somebody in. It might be waiting on now. Now that we're out, are we got to go? Is Nisbet and Porteous got to go now? Then now that we didn't need to keep them, are they just got to say, right, get them out and we'll get in? I don't know, whoever it is at St Johnstone we fancy, or whoever else is good in the league. I didn't pay much attention to other teams, so I've no idea what these boys are like. Because the depth thing, we said it on Monday night that we've got 2 teams effectively that could play against each other if everybody's fit, which they weren't the night, which is why the bench was weak, because we've not got Cadden and Doige and Allen and whoever else it was and Hanlon that never played the night. So that's why the bench was so weak. Right, you've lost day 4, like I think Ewan said. So that's why the bench is weak. But we've got 2 full strength teams there, apart from a centre half, one centre half. And if we're only playing one up front, you're no short of any. But yeah, as soon as one gets injured, you're fucking down to the bare bones, aren't you? Like what happened tonight with the striker out. It had to be the striker and the centre half the night that was out. Everybody went, fuck, we're short in the positions. We all knew they were short in the positions. It's just because we lost both of them before the game.
Colin, I think we spoke about just the other week there, we had a great bench.
Mm-hmm.
2 or 2. I thought this is a great bench. Then have you seen tonight's bench? It was very, very weak. And there was all young kids, 2 goalkeepers as well.
You've got to play 2 goalies though.
Yeah, I know.
That's why it's just the goalkeeping coach. I don't know why there's 2 goalies, but the thing is that but that's the thing, that your squad is strong. It's just we had a few injuries tonight. So if normally you think your full strength squad, it's a strong bench. So if you had any more bodies in, they don't even got to be on the bench. And that's we can't afford that, especially now that we're not in Europe.
Can't sign players just in case we'll get injured.
That's because you were that wage all season.
You've already got the cover.
Big teams can with the big budgets, but we can't. We talked about this last season. we talked about this last season, the exact same thing. It's like you say, we came in we're short, but we can't just go signing 3 players for every single position. And we've still got Martin Boyle can obviously, Martin Boyle can play up top, he can. And I came obviously, I prefer him out wide than that. But when they came what Jack Ross is like, these utility players, these players that can play in different positions, and he'll look at Martin Boyle as a striker in his mind as well, if needed. Because you've got young Adi Mackey as well that can obviously play wide. That if need be, you could play him up top and Mackey and Murphy on the wing. But it's for me, I still think a strike maybe. But again, does you look at Gullen as an option? So if you look at Gullen as an option, you didn't want another striker. It's just a centre half.
I suppose if Gullen's at the club, it has to be an option. Otherwise,
totally.
No point in being there. You and I wasn't sure if you put your hand up while Colin was speaking. If you want to make your point, then I'll go to Jamie next.
I know. It was just when Colin said about they would need to sell people. I think was it Liam that said about Jack Ross's interview? I've seen it as well. I think it was like the 13th of July. He said wanted a striker and a centre half. Obviously, we've signed Chris Mueller on the pre-contract since then, but I think I don't think Hibs maybe now we don't know what market we're shopping in, because we probably expected Doig to go or Nisbet. You're talking millions of pounds there, and then you don't know what's happening with the European run. Like we could, you know what I mean? Like we probably right now still don't actually know what funds we've got, because say we go and sign someone that we do see very much as a third choice striker, and then we bring in £3 million for someone. We could have signed someone totally different. Like, I don't think, I know you sort of got to speculate to accumulate in that, but we probably expected by now, in all honesty, to have lost Doig and or Nisbet or Porteous probably. So you're probably thinking 4 or 5, if not more, million in the bag to spend. You've not known what sort of European money's going to be there. Now we're out, you'd know that I think I seen on Dotnet today, the prize money, I think it's like 500k or something that we'll have bagged from this sort of 2 games. So at least you know a little bit of what you've got. So I think we might see some movement now between now and the end of the window. But that's the thing, like, say we, just to pick a name at the hat, say we went and, I don't know, fucking Chris Kane for St Johnstone, but in 2 months' time, 2 weeks' time, we sell someone for $3 million, we could have got someone better. You know what I mean? Not saying we should sign Chris Kane, that's just the first name that came to mind. So I think we might see movement now that we have a better idea of what window we're shopping in.
We've still got that Mueller to come in as well. So again, hopefully we can get that. Well, hopefully that 500,000 we get, and hopefully Hibs can go to Orlando and say, look, we'll give you 300,000 to take him now rather than get him a pre-contract. If we're desperate to get him in now, hopefully going out of Europe might just give Ron Gordon a bit more of a nudge to get this deal done a bit more quicker than what it's going now. Hopefully.
Well, I know Hibs are trying every day, apparently, to get Mueller in. So, and Orlando just signed a couple of wingers. So you never know, something might happen on that. Jamie, what about you? What was your view on the game?
I think the guys have pretty much covered the game, but I think the difference in the 2 legs is they played how we played. In the first leg, they had multiple chances. We really should have been dead and buried in the first half. Macy's made a good save. When we got back into it, I thought we might go on and make a wee bit inroads and get a second goal. Sending off really killed it for us. But even saying that, if McGregor hadn't have got sent off, I think they would have scored again. Paul McGinn, I like Leon, I didn't really want to go and slate the guy. He's been quite a good servant, but he was really poor tonight. The third goal especially, I didn't care what he's done. Just throw your body in front of that, header it out the back. When saying John there about Mueller coming in, where does he play? Again, it's all very well having him coming in. Where does he play? We need a striker and we need a defender. He's neither of that. So it's a disappointing way to go out. I think everybody's feeling that, and it wasn't a great performance. Let's be honest. It was really poor, and the fact that we've eventually got beat 4-1, and we've no tried to have a goal. You've been well getting beat 8-1. Doesn't matter. Once you're 3-1 down, you've got to try and make it things happen for yourself and score goals. And it doesn't matter how many you get beat by. Again, it looks bad. I mean, we've just been scalped 4-1. Try to hold on to something that doesn't there. I can't wrap my head around it. But if one thing I will say is this thing, Jack Ross did say that about a defender and a striker. And if you're waiting on sales for that to happen, you really need to be saying to Ron Gordon, we need to get these players in now and we'll sort out the sales later. Because we're not spending millions of pounds. We must have money there to spend.
even if we can get a couple of loan deals now, we've got a deals with Brighton, so why not go to Brighton or get a team to right? We'll get a loan deal in, and then at Christmas time, if the situation's changed, we can get an option to buy him, or he can go back. There is options for loaning if we are struggling maybe to get the money in, or if we're waiting for sales. I think a couple of loan deals could be real good for us.
That's a good point, John. Leon, you've got your hand up. I'll come to you, and then Ray, I'll come to you next.
Just to follow on for you as well about the again we were saying about the one in one out sort of thing and what market we're working in. But I wonder if the Doig situation sort of slowed things up as well, because obviously that looked like that was ready to go. That was for all like taking him out the squad, getting out of the games and that blah blah blah. That was like they're thinking right now we're going to get 4-5 million quid whatever in for this laddie. We can now go and do this, and this, but we have to wait for to get that over the line. Because it's all good saying spend money, and which is fair dues, and we could do it. But then Josh Doig breaks his leg or something like that, and then that doesn't happen. And then Hibs are £3 million deep or £2 million deep, and Sandy shouldn't be in. And then you didn't care where you end up. That's why it's all right to say to yourself, like, speculate and all that, Ken, to go ahead with what you're spending, but you've got to be safe, and especially with Scottish football. And we've all seen where this club has been before, so they'll know. I think Ron Gordon's want to make daft decisions, eh?
Which, to be honest, I can get what you're saying, Leon. But if the rumoured 500 grand, let's say for Jamie McCart, is what we're spending, it's hardly breaking the bank.
I'll agree.
And if you're getting one of these players in, I'm not saying go out and spend millions, which we'll not do. But if you're spending that initial wee bit, or what's the most prominent position that we need to fill? Is it a centre half? Is it a striker? For me, it's centre half. Spend that money on him. We will make money back. I just can't believe that we're just waiting on some kind of catalyst, and we're now 3 weeks away from the window closing.
I hope we're not. I just think in my mind that's what could be happening as well.
Yeah.
I think the point about not caring where your market is significant, because if you're looking and saying you could buy a centre half at 500k, or if you are patient and are prepared to kind of go with what you've got until you know for definite, you can. I can't have it's not likely we'll spend 2 million on a centre half, but you could, if you took in 3-4 million for Josh Doig and then went, well, we've got 2 million now that we know we can spend that. You're bringing in a much better centre half than you're getting if you're paying $500,000 for one. So, Jimmy, I can see your hand up. I'm going to come to Ray because Ray's not had a chance to come in yet. And I'll come back to you, mate. Ray, what was your take on it all?
Everybody's covered it, to be honest with you, mate. There's nothing I can add to that. I suspect the money is the reason we've not spent it. It's just simply because we've not sold Doig. I think they'd expected to get rid of Doig by now. And speculating to accumulate is one thing, but they can't gamble. They shouldn't gamble either. Should it should be done the right way. I think that's what he's trying to do. But goes back to what you were saying earlier about markets. Do you spend £500,000 on McCart, or do you try and get someone who's potentially better? There's evident markets out there that Gordon's been looking at. So he's tapped that American market. There's a chance, let's say, that it could be somewhere. Gordon's could be going into South America for all we know, with the connections that he has with Peru and such like. I mean, I just don't know. None of us know. So I mean, we can speculate all we like. As for the performance, the game was lost in the first leg. I think it really is as simple as that. We could have probably taken a 2 to 3 goal advantage over there. As it happened tonight, I thought we did all right for a period. We're all right. The midfield team were fantastic. Jake Doyle-Hughes is superb. McGuinness was superb. Newell did well. Defensively, holy shit. It was just horrendous. McGregor was brutal. Absolutely brutal. McGinn was brutal. And I'm really getting annoyed with myself for doing this. It's completely unfair. They've done so much for the club, and to pick them for one game is completely unfair. However, they were brutal.
It's like the Motherwell game as well. Like we've got a really strong team this year. I think we could do really well. But I was like Motherwell as well. The 2 goals we lost against Motherwell were defensive mistakes. So you've got to take a look at that, and then you look at tonight as well. You've got to say to yourself, we need to do something like quick.
Chris McCarroll will make a difference when he comes back, because for no other reason other than the fact that he'll be putting pressure on McGinn as well. It's having that at the back of your head that someone's there to take your position. It tends to bring your game on. We need a centre half. I mean, we all know this. We're going around the circles saying exactly the same thing here. I suspect it's because they were waiting to see if they got money for Doig, and I think it's as simple as that.
Aye. It's Chris Carden, I think you were meaning, rather than McCart.
That's what I was going to say.
Aye, Chris Carden. Jimmy, you had your hand up, and then then we'll look to wrap up as we're running out of time. So, Jimmy, what was the point you were going to make?
What I was saying, like, this is no any time to panic, and we've got potentially a good team there. They're playing some lovely football, and they weren't that bad tonight, by the way.
Correct.
They had they passed it brilliantly. I was a wee bit surprised with Boyle and Murphy. Maybe no swapping. Remember on Sunday, sorry, they swapped. You know, because Boyle didn't get much. There
were some lovely periods of play with it.
Yes, there was.
They had some really lovely periods of play. They had a couple of shots that were saved from Murphy and from Nisbet. Nisbet's shot, that ability that he has to have no drawback on his foot and just release the ball like that. I love it. It fools keepers a lot.
Can I go back to what my point was going to be? Was we were talking about Doig, the sale of £3 million, £4 million, whatever it may be. Hibs and all clubs don't get £4 million right up. This is based over a 3-year period. So to think that we're going to get £5 million into the pot is no exactly.
No, it depends how the sales set up.
But we spend it over a few years as well, though, Jimmy.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yes.
So you know, this is the same. You're just doing like for like in and out. Any other points before we wrap up, guys? That was really good discussion tonight. Dave, you looking like you want to say something there?
Just one thing, really quickly, right? I know we were saying about we'll have to make a move on the centre half quickly and all the rest of it, and why we're taking so long. I don't think we've not been trying, right?
Yeah.
I think we've been trying like a bear to get the laddie McCart, right? And there's a reason why they're playing hardball as well. They're playing in the league above us, remember, in Europe, right? So they're trying to keep their team together. And if you're trying to do a deal with McCart, they're now saying, do you want to come to Hibs? And he's thinking, well, hang on, I'm still playing in the Europa League, potentially. Like, not anymore, because they've just been knocked down again, but they're still in Europe. So they've got plenty to play for. So they're in a great bargain position. So Hibs can't go in there and say, there's $1 million, because that's what they'll just say, we want $1 million now. Right? There's a lot of is there a player in the Hibs squad just now who would go to St Johnstone as part of that deal? Right? So there's loads of stuff that's I'm pretty sure is going on in the background towards getting that player. And I know people saying, we'll put all our eggs in one basket. And I said this on the forum the other day there, right? I would much rather do that than go out and buy some player or get some player on loan for Ipswich who sits on the bench for like 9 games, gets injured and we never see him play. Right? Let's get a player in who we're going to get for the next 4 years. Take our time. We're not in a mad rush. Centre half's the only position I think that we definitely need somebody for the league. Right? We're saying we need a striker. We only play one up top. We play 3 behind. So the laddie that comes in from America can play anywhere across that 3 or up top. Right? We've got 4 or 5 players that can actually play up top if you have to. So we're not in a massive position for a massive rush for strikers. Centre half, yes, we do it this week, get it done, and that's it. We're in a good place.
Jamie, you put your hand up there. You've got a final word, mate. So once you've made your point, that'll be us wrapped up for the night.
I was just at what Dave was saying the other now. That St Johnstone drop into the Conference League, is that right?
Yeah.
Is that what they're saying? Aye, okay.
Oh, do they?
So you spot aye.
Yeah, they do a playoff.
I was right. So I thought, mind when Hibs were about to, had we won the cup and we were talking about it was that guaranteed. But then they said it didn't happen. Mind that there was like that website.
What was supposed to be was if the Scottish Cup winners were supposed to go into the playoff round of the Europa League, and the losers defaulted into the Conference League. But obviously that changed. UEFA changed it the way their coefficient worked towards the end of last year. So St Johnstone actually have to win a game to get through. Same way, like Rangers are guaranteed group stage because even if they lose in the Europa League, they would go Conference League. Same way, I think if Celtic win tonight, they're definitely in the Conference League groups as well.
That makes sense. I'll not take that any further, otherwise I'm going to sound like Richard Gordon and fucking the sports team bunch trying to understand the handball rule like they were the other night. Just about had me turning off my radio. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for coming on. That was excellent. We're actually just going to end this and then get on to record short bangers after it, so that'll hopefully cheer us up. So thanks for coming on. We'll be back on Sunday after the Kilmarnock game as well, so we'll catch you then.
County line I pledged upon. Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee.